to the race. Just on my first tack. It went okay. Oh, you just build these things up in your head so much, and I've done it a million times, but I'm so worried about messing it up, and you know, and it's good to see other people struggling as well. There's Manu behind me taking a long time to put his jib in. I chose for a smaller jib so I could manage it, and I really feel like that's the right decision. I'm really comfortable with that. I haven't eaten since breakfast. I can't eat. Oh dear. And so, but I know I need to keep my fuel up, so a couple of snacks in my pocket, drink of water. Oh, this is great. Sunset, and I'm approaching Cape Friel. A little bit pink because I've been working my guts off for the last couple of hours. Unfortunately, I had a problem with one of my reefing lines, and I couldn't get the sail to go up to one reef when I needed it to. So I've been sailing around very slowly, trying to fix it, which has involved some cutting and some sewing and a lot of climbing backwards and forwards on the boob. I've found a temporary solution. I need to do a neater resolve later. But I've fallen back about 3.5 miles on kind of my pack, which I'm naturally gutted about, really gutted. But that's this game, isn't it? You know, I've been unlucky in the first 2 hours of the race. Other people will get dealt a bad hand at other times, and what this is about is how we deal with that. So sort of playful, really, isn't it? I'm in amongst the class 40s, which is not where I wanted to be, so time to put my foot down and try and get out. Breeze is just starting to fill in. I need a drink and probably something to eat. But Monday, so day 5 of the race, and we're in the crossing the third weather system here. This is a nasty one, actually. I think we're just coming to the worst of it. The wind's been up at 35 knots. The sea state's getting quite nasty, very lumpy, and it's raining. That ship there just passed about half a mile in front of me, and I couldn't see it for ages, so I had to use my radar to make sure it was really passing in front. Just big waves and terrible visibility. Oh. The upside is the boat's going really well. I've actually been able to sail quite fast. Yeah, I mean, it's relatively comfy. Bearing in mind I'm always comparing it back to Super B, the lovely Super B. However, I am looking forward to this ending. Another 6 hours maybe, I think, and then I can tack. But the difficulty is this horrible sloppy sea. When I tack on that, oh, that's going to be a nasty sea state. But that's the next challenge to deal with. It's the first day in ages that I've had the top back. I've just slid through the Azores, period of lighter wind there, and now it's building again, and there's another front, another one, a little one, but I'm not going to call it little because it might have something to prove, approaching from the west. I haven't decided whether I'm going to go and try and leverage that to get south quicker, or whether I'm just going to carry on going south. But these conditions are a great opportunity just to do a deck walk and kind of have a look at how the boat's fared for the last 4 days. had a little bit of work to do. I broke a jib sheet yesterday, so I've had to sort a new one of those out, do some splicing, and another kind of fairly big problem with my keel, which I'll go into later, but for now we'll just take a little walk around the deck. A couple of days ago I discovered a fairly hefty technical problem on the boat, and those who are observant on the tracker might have seen that I did a couple of little circles, spent a bit of time going downwind trying to figure out what to do, and it's an ongoing problem which I'm going to have to manage for the rest of the race, but I just thought I'd talk you through what the problem is and how we're managing it. This area we're looking at here, just behind the Parrot, is called the Cathedral, and it's where all the ropes and rigging come down from the mast, go through turning blocks and out through the tunnels, and then underneath there is access to the keel box, and the head of the keel comes up through the boat, it's open to the water, and that's where the keel ram is attached. Now a couple of days ago I discovered that my auxiliary keel ram was not connected to the keel head. I found this out by, it was still quite rough, and I started hearing this knocking on the bottom of the hull, or it sounded like it was on the bottom of the hull. Couldn't work out what it was. So I spent quite a bit of time just kind of crawling around the boat with my head to the bottom of the boat, trying to localise where the knocking was coming from. Quite difficult to do when you're being lumped around in the waves. It's quite hard not to headbutt the bottom of the boat. And I discovered it came from inside the keel box here, and that kind of made me open it up and look inside. And when I looked inside, I could see that the auxiliary ram was not attached to the head, so that the fork was still on the head, but the ram had come unattached from the fork, which then made me look at the ram structure itself. So the ram is inside here, there it is, and the purpose of this is if the hydraulic ram on the other side of the boat fails, and fails spectacularly, so it's not able to hold the keel in position, which is highly unlikely, then this ram there's a pin that goes in here, and there's a hole in the ram, and the ram can be used to just locate the keel into the middle so it doesn't pendulum under the boat. Now what's happened is the ram has come unattached, and then the keel head moving has pushed the ram all the way out, and you can see it's actually come out through the side of the box here, which I didn't notice. And these ties that hold the gator in place have bent. So the first thing to know is it's not putting me in any danger at all. It just means that my kind of second option for pinning the keel isn't available should the keel fail. But this is a relatively short race. The hydraulics are in good condition, and we're now pretty much out of the worst of the weather. So even if the keel did fail, I would be able to make it to the shore safely under a reduced sail plan with water ballast. So what I need to do is just make sure that this situation doesn't get any worse and it doesn't damage the boat. And I had to do three things. So one was make sure the keel ram stayed in position and didn't didn't go back into the cathedral and then hamper the movement of the keel head. 2 was to make sure that that box down there was watertight, so the gaiter is intact, and again that means making sure the ram doesn't slip all the way out. And then 3 is inside the keel head, inside the cathedral, making sure that the keel head doesn't damage the structure of the boat, and that was my biggest worry. So 1 and 2 were fairly easy fix, just kind of made sure that our hose clamps on the gaiter are in good condition and done up, which they are. And then the second thing was I needed to make sure that this gaiter, this ram doesn't move. So I've just put some hose clips, 1 on each end. This one you can see has moved a little bit, but this one definitely hasn't. So that's just stopping the ram from sliding backwards or forwards. And then periodically I'm checking in here to make sure there is no water ingress. So the third problem with this is just making sure that the hydraulic ram doesn't actually cause damage to the structure of the keel box, because there's still a fork on the head of the keel, and so the ram, when the ram is pushing over to the port side with the fork still on it, if the orientation of the fork is wrong, it could butt up against the inside of this structure and just crush it, because the ram is so strong and it wouldn't stop. So that means I've had to mark up the head of the keel so that I could see through that window easily if the fork has moved. But also I'm just making regular checks, and these mobile phones are amazing for it, because you just put it onto selfie mode, turn the video on, and then you can hang the phone down inside the cathedral. Don't drop it, because I can't reach all the way down in there. And then you can see the head of the keel and everything that's going on. And it does mean that every single tack I have to do a little bit slower, have to put the keel into the middle first, and then make sure that I'm down below watching as the keel cants over to port, to make sure that it's not interfering with any of the structure at all. But we've managed to stabilise it. I've talked through the whole thing with Joff. We're in agreement that everything's absolutely fine. I'm not in any danger at all, but I do need to be super careful and observant and just keep making sure everything in that box is exactly as it should be. So remember that front I was talking about? It was quite little, and I thought I'd go through it. Turns out it was little and aggressive. Lasted about 45 minutes, and in those 45 minutes it has managed to, with my help, absolutely trash my mainsail. Yep, it's all under the first reef, thank goodness. So I'm just about to put a reef in, and it just means that I'll have to finish the rest of the race at 1 reef only. But that is one hell of a rip. It all just got really messy. The front was way bigger than expected. It came really quickly, it was super aggressive. I lost control of the boat when I was trying to tack. And the result is a hole that definitely can't be fixed. It's a masterpiece. See that? It's the sun! I found it! Woohoo! Oh my word! Feels amazing. I have crafted in the last 18 hours. Pushed the boat hard, done 2 pretty big sail changes, got all of my sails that have been in the bow out, and now I'm moving them around the boat stacking. Just done a jibe, and I'm heading down south, so we're coming to the reckoning moment to find out whether I can stay ahead of the guys down south. Got my masthead 0 up, big sail, and I've got a plan to maybe resurrect my mainsail, but I'm gonna have some lunch and a little snooze and maybe drink a cup of tea in the sun first, because I've been grafting all morning and quite frankly I'm knackered. This is amazing. With any luck, we should be entering our final 24 hours at this place. I'm going to miss this. The sea just offers, I don't know, endless possibilities. It's powerful and it's beautiful, and it's amazing to be out here and a part of it, and have everybody else out here as well. You know, there's so many other boats out here still. It's been an incredible race. I don't know what the back end of Guadeloupe is going to offer me. No idea at all. I'm just going to take the hand I'm dealt, and I'm going to give it my best shot. Let's see where I end up. For now, I'm just really enjoying these last 15 or so hours of being in the ocean, in it, part of it. It's immense. We are coming up to Tête Anglaise, little island there. I was expecting the wind to kind of bend around inside this bay here and lift me up to the island, and it hasn't. So my lie line wasn't that good, and jibing takes me quite a long time, so I'm having to sail slowly to get to the mark. All the time frantically scanning the horizon behind me. I just don't want to see a mast. When I get to the corner I should have a bit of speed to kind of increase the distance between us, but I know that the three of them are all just back there. Got my go faster main up. Okay, I can see a mast. I need to get to that corner. I think that's Roman. Bother. Halfway down the side of the island, haven't made the wind shadow yet. Might have a little bit too much sail up, but what the heck. I think I've lost him. I don't know. Well, I thought I was doing really well. Managed to get through the first wind shadow and carried on moving, but on the horizon, not even on the horizon, he's quite close actually. There. Powered up. Moving. I'm doing 1 knot. Okay, we just keep cool. He might fall into a hole. We'll see. Mixed feelings. I'm happy to be here and smiling, because I wasn't sure that I would be smiling about 2 hours ago. I mean, man, it's a hard race. You know, the Route du Rhum's got an incredible reputation, but I think a lot of the time the reputation is for the size of the race, because there are so many competitors. But actually, I think what we've just seen is fierce. It's brutal, and you know, there were so many casualties. Originally I just thought I'm going to sail a safe race and I'll be happy to be, you know, somewhere in the top third, and then after being super safe for the first week, I saw an opportunity at the Azores to do something different, and I just thought, okay, well, what am I waiting for? This is time. If it doesn't work out, well, fine, but you know, I can see an opportunity, and and I ended up 10th. And I would have loved to have finished 10th. I really would have done, but it wasn't to be. You know, the back of the island is difficult. Really. So yeah, I mean, when I started this season, I said the Route du Rhum was, you know, the accumulation of all of our learnings collectively as a team, the whole team, everyone, everything. We're a new team. We've learnt so much over the season, and I just wanted to nail it in the final race of the season, and I think we did.